Hey, did you know that the CDC has declared that we're in the midst of a very dangerous epidemic? No, it's not COVID. This epidemic affects one of the most important facets of our health and is what I've called the most underrated health marker of all times. That is sleep. So how are you sleeping? Hey friends, welcome back. Dory Danatel here. And this video is going to open your eyes to show how failing to get that good, high quality shut-eye is damaging your health and shortening your life. So listen, whether you're burning the midnight oil to get everything done that needs to be done, or you're getting up in the night to go pee, or you're getting up because you or a partner is snoring all the time, all I can say is that if your sleep is consistently interrupted, or you're getting less than the recommended hours a night, you are infected by the sleep epidemic. So why should you care? Let's start with the fact that 50% of the world's adults no longer get the 7 to 9 hours of sleep they need to actually function. And this has worsened just over the last 50 to 60 years. We want to also look at what is sleep. Unlike the ancient idea that sleep is somehow related to death, or the thoughts of the 50s where sleep was like shutting off the TV where we're going dormant, we now know that it's during sleep time that our mind and our body are busy as bees. They're regenerating, restoring, repairing, performing functions that are crucial to our psychological and physical health and our quality of life. And here's the thing, this amazing body of yours is actually made up of 300 billion cells, and those cells only live for 3 to 120 days, which basically means every 4 months, you're an entirely new person. And sleep is what allows repairs and recovery at this cellular level. So besides the 7 to 9 hours of sleep, what else makes up high quality sleep? Well, I'm going to talk about the types of sleep we have. You know, there's non-REM or rapid eye movement and REM, and we travel through those different types of sleep in several stages, several times a night. So stage 1, non-REM, this is the moment that you're starting to fall asleep. Your mind and your body are beginning to relax. Brain activity is slowing down. You are still relatively aware of your environment, so you're easily disrupted. This stage takes about 5 to 10 minutes to pass through. Then you're going to hit stage 2, non-REM. You're losing your awareness of the environment, your breathing and your body temperature, your heart rate starts to slow. The brain activity is actually starting to fluctuate and intermittently light up. This is a deeper sleep than stage 1, and you'll spend about 20 to 25 minutes here. Then stage 3 is non-REM still, and you are now transitioning between light sleep and deep sleep. Muscles are fully relaxed, breathing and heart rate and blood pressure at their lowest. Your brain is beginning to produce delta waves. Those are the strong and slow waves. Some of the repair processes are underway, specifically to restore functionality of your body systems and boost the immune system. And by the way, this is the time where sleepwalking is most common. And this is the longest stage of the sleep cycle at about an hour. Then you move into stage 4, which is the REM sleep, rapid eye movement. We head into here about an hour and a half after we've fallen asleep. And you're in now the deepest phase. You are the most detached from your environment. And though your muscles are inactive, your breathing and your heart rate are actually increasing. It's when you're breathing heavy. And this is the time that you spend dreaming. P.S. Fun fact, it's not normal to remember your dreams. Experts say that within 5 minutes of awakening, the brain loses the majority of what happens in the dreams. All right, this first run through of REM sleep only lasts about 10 minutes, and that extends every time you circle through these stages. And by the way, circling through the stages is not always sequential, but you will circle back through them back and forth 4 to 5 times a night if all is well with your sleep, which means if you are someone who often has interrupted sleep, it's really helpful and important for you to troubleshoot that. Are you up peeing a lot? Is that because you are drinking too much before bed? Do you wake up constantly or are tossing and turning all night, throwing off covers because you're too hot? Here's another fact. Women have a lot more temperature fluctuations due to the hormones. And it has been proven to help to wear socks. This has shown to ward off hot flashes and regulate temperature. The important thing to take away from this is that every one of the 4 stages is really imperative for you to pass through several times. Why? Because sleep is processing and managing storage of information, removing toxins, repairing and restoring those 300 billion cells, and actually creating the new ones. It's also creating new tissues, new neural pathways, which make all the bodily functions more efficient. And besides all of that, sleep influences your body weight. And if you want more on that, watch my hormone series. And speaking of hormones, sleep helps with hormone balance, and it also aids digestion and keeps the respiratory and heart and cardio system functioning. So if you're starting to have digestive issues, or your blood pressure is rising all of a sudden unexpectedly or in a weird way, really look at what you're doing with your sleep. Sleep also improves our mental health, so you're going to enjoy life more. And it improves our social skills. So people are going to enjoy you more. And the greatest part about it is this most restorative activity of life is actually pretty enjoyable. It's something that we naturally want to do because our brain is actually set up to make us fall asleep. This forced mechanism, by the way, humans are the only ones that can go against this force. We can say, nope, I know I'm tired, but I'm not sleeping. But this forced mechanism includes the circadian rhythm. You've probably heard of it. It's basically the idea that the amount of light in your surroundings informs your brain about when it's nighttime and when it's daytime. That means that you have a biological clock that tells you when you're primed for sleep. So as the day wears on, the circadian rhythm picks up the light changes and your brain starts to produce melatonin. This mechanism also explains why people with total blindness have difficulty sleeping during what we would call normal or appropriate sleep hours. You may have not heard of the term chronotype. Basically, this speaks to how our circadian rhythm is individualized. We respond to those light signals differently. Some people get tired at the earliest signs of darkness, that's me, and others respond later. Are you an early bird or are you a night owl? There are actually 4 chronotypes, and you can find plethora of information on them. Just search Google for chronotype. Knowing your individual needs is really good because the recommendations of 7 to 9 hours is what the average person needs every night, but not everyone falls into that window. Some are totally fine with less. Some need more to simply function. You don't want to compare yourself to others. You want to tune into how you feel. And you also want to know that at different stages in your life, your needs will likely change. So you want to listen and honor those needs. Now I'm going to quickly run through the tips that I've already offered on the hormone videos, but I'm also going to add more helpful ideas and tips on how to get good sleep. And if I haven't drilled the rationale enough, here's something that you really must tune into and hear. We know that without food, we can survive several weeks, and without water, we can only survive several days. So what about sleep? First off, death specifically due to sleep deprivation is not well documented. It's very rare. But what they have found is that within 3 days of no sleep, you will lose your ability to function. So how are you going to make sure that you can keep functioning? Have a nighttime routine. You want to also go to bed and wake up about the same time every day. Avoid blue light devices within an hour or 2 of bedtime. Stay away from caffeine late in the day. Listen, that stays in your system 10 to 12 hours after having it. So if you're a go to bed at 10 p.m., you got to stop that caffeine by 10 a.m., 12 noon at the very latest, and make your sleeping environment as serene as possible. Cool temperatures are best. Now, here's a few I did not talk about. Get more sunlight more often. Now, this is the best natural cue for your body. So if you work in a cubicle or a windowless office, I'm just to say indoor lighting doesn't do the trick here. Try to get near the window, open the blinds, take breaks outside, and then be careful with daytime naps. Keep those at 15 minutes, no later than early afternoon. I've mentioned movement a lot. I'm going to up the ante on it. Getting more intense exercise actually increases and prolongs your REM sleep cycle and makes sleep more restorative. And then make sure you're doing them in the morning or no later than early afternoon. And the timing of meals matters also. So give yourself about 2 to 3 hours between dinner and bedtime, and really shoot for having your heavy meal midday instead of evening. Okay, I've packed a lot in here, so please reach out if you have questions or want help troubleshooting your sleep issues. And then don't forget to hit the subscribe button and click that little bell, because that just means that you'll know when there's a new video dropped with quick, succinct info on what makes good health. All right, friends, see you on the next one.